Good afternoon, it's Thursday, October 24, 2024. Mental health is real. Seek help, end the stigma. On the news this afternoon, stakeholder blames government officials for delay in flood response. Condemnation trails renaming of Niger Delta Ministry. Benue State Commissioner of Justice suspended. On the foreign scene, Commonwealth nations to defy UK on slavery reparations. I'm Ifichuku Moyane with the news. Now, former spokesperson of the Pan-Niger Delta Forum, PANDEF, Anab Saraiwe, has condemned the scrapping of the Ministry of Niger Delta Affairs. Speaking with correspondent Onyeka Chinwosu, Mr. Saraiwe said the Ministry of Niger Delta Affairs was set up to develop the region like the FCT after the struggle of some people from the Niger Delta.
I am not happy with the habit of the Ministry of Niger Delta. The Ministry of Niger Delta came out of the struggle of the region after several blood loss, after a battle and so many lives lost. The ministry, from our understanding at that time, was supposed to be like federal capital, supposed to develop projects in the Niger Delta. But unfortunately, over time, they refused to fund the ministry and they made the ministry to become an unbegging. Some years they give them less than 1 billion and they are not very effective.
He said the federal government should have first established the South-South Development Commission as done in other regions before creating the Ministry of Regional Affairs.
So if they now finally want to scrap it, without first of all setting up a South-South Development Commission, because NDDC is not only for South-South, NDDC covers South-East and South-West and Niger Delta and the South-South. So we are not happy. So the North-East have a development zone, the North-West have their own, the North-East have their own, so the South-West also have their own, except the Niger Delta, they call Niger South-South. So they must first of all do that, at the same time fund the ministry to do a statutory job, not to scrap it.
Now, as concerned stakeholder, Emeni Ibe says corruption is the reason for delayed response of government flood issues in Orashi region. Mr. Ibe, the President General of the Orashi National Congress, said this during an interview with correspondent Onyeka Chinwosu. Mr. Ibe alleged that some government officials delay the process to ensure that relief materials are supposed and diverted for their to ensure that relief materials are not diverted for personal gain.
They wait until when the thing happens, when the flood don't come, so that they come up with some relief material that will be diverted. The money will be diverted to their private account. That is what has been happening in the years past. Relief material will be diverted to their warehouses and leave the people to suffer in penury. As I talk with you, many persons that have suffered in previous years, no rehabilitation, no concern from the government. Immediately after the whole jamboree, they leave the people to suffer. We are highly pained and we want the government to be proactive this time around. Now that we have our own daughter from Orashi, the deputy governor, as the chairman of the committee.
He also called on the government and its agencies to ensure that civil societies and other stakeholders are carried along to ensure strict monitoring of the relief materials for flood victims.
I think the community themselves, including community representatives, should be involved. There are other NGO and other organizations that are watchdog. They should be involved, in all the communities. The palliative should be decentralized. Traditional rulers and some people should not come to hijack the palliative to favor some people and leave the main victim. Sometimes victim go through her to get palliative.
To security matters now. A relative of one of the victims of the weekend killing in Ahoda East recounted how his 29-year-old younger brother Chiemele Oseja was killed in the attacks. Oseja Obume spoke in an interview with our correspondent.
Another my brother called on phone that my younger brother was gunned down, so we quickly rushed down to my store. And when I got to my community, I saw cops with leg wounds at the leg. He went to one friend who lost the mom, so he attended the burial program. So when he noticed that they are gone and tried to run away from the scene, at that point he ran into their hands. I want to call on the state government to assist us. The people have suffered so much towards the security issue. We need a stop to it.
As you may know, at least 7 people were killed in 2 different communities when gunmen invaded the area over the weekend. Meanwhile, the Inspector General of Police, Kayode Wetoku, says the Nigeria Police Force has zero tolerance for corruption. He spoke through the Assistant Inspector General of Police overseeing Zone 16, Bayelsa, at River State, Ayinde Hamzat, during the inauguration of the Police Complaints Response Unit at the River State Command Headquarters in Port Harcourt.
IG has said it, and we are echoing it, that there's zero tolerance for extortion, there's zero tolerance for corruption. No organization, no institution deals with their own when there's a misconduct like the police. But there are some lacuna, and it is that lacuna that the CRU has come to give us. There's no misconduct reported to the police authority that actions are not taken. I stand bold to say this and let everyone who knows to the contrary contradict this. The CRU also gives that protection because people fear to give information to the police.
The River State Police Command Complaints Response Unit was built in collaboration with the United States Diplomatic Mission in Nigeria, the Bureau of International Narcotics and Law Enforcement, and the United Nations Peace Building Fund. In the meantime, police say they've arrested 3 suspects allegedly known for kidnapping passengers along Port Harcourt-Owerri Road. At a media briefing at the command headquarters, the River State Commissioner of Police, Mohammed Mustafa, named the suspect as Blessing Abelu, Precious Ebe, and Wisdom Otto Amadi. CP Mustafa said the suspects had been under police surveillance after they abducted a National Youth Service Corps member and 2 others along the Ilele-Omerelu Expressway. He said an investigation is ongoing to arrest fleeing members of the gang.
The second operation took place shortly afterwards at a suspected criminal den in the Ananka waterfront area of Debu, Port Harcourt, where a blue Toyota Corolla with registration number belonging to one Usamayu Okuru of number 24 Ada Williams, which was robbed at gunpoint along Education bus stop, was recovered.
CB Mustafa also said operatives of the Octopus Strike Force Command recovered a blue Toyota Corolla vehicle after raiding a criminal hideout at Elechi Beach and Nanka waterfront in Mile 1 Jobu, Port Harcourt. He said one Baridan Berebom was also arrested with a rifle for robbery in Mogo Community, Gokana local government area. He said the suspect and his gang robbed a female corps member of an iPhone 12.
The police swiftly responded to a district call about the robbery and gave hot chase of the armed robbers, and the suspect was arrested while other gunmen fled. The victim's phone and the operational weapon was recovered. We are going after his accomplice who ran away, and by the grace of God, we are going to get them arrested.
In another development, some members of the National Youth Service Corps in River State have expressed their concern and distress over the reported disappearance of Yahya Farouk, a fellow corps member assigned to a community secondary school in Ikuru Town, Andoni local government area.
I cannot actually pinpoint my emotions because I'm feeling so many emotions at the same time. I'm angry because how can somebody just go missing, a full-grown human being?
It saddens my heart, and I think it's understandable to say I am sad upon hearing the news. I can only pray and hope he is fine and he will be seen soon.
This is a very sad situation. Honestly, it's a very sad situation, and it's scary too because it's difficult for one to identify himself as a corps member these days. You know, before now, corps members would always wear their cap, wear their khaki, and be moving here and there, and people will be calling copper. It's not like that these days.
This person left people at home to come to serve, so it's not actually going to be easy for any of them.
Recall that the corps member was reported missing on October 14 with reports that he signed in for his shift but did not sign out. The company where he works in Andoni is said to have returned his bag and phone, leaving behind a trail of unanswered questions. Now, barely 5 days after the Nibo killing traced to a cult-related clash in Anambra State, reports say another shooting has left at least 7 people dead in Awka, the state capital. The reports say incidents which looked like coordinated attacks occurred in 2 locations within Awka at the same time. According to reports, the shooting took place at Ifite, behind Unizik, Awka, and nearby Witness Garden on Ifite Amansia Road. Still to come, Benue State Commissioner of Justice suspended. Stay with us.
This is the news on 92.3 Nigeria Info.
You're welcome back, and now the rest of the news. The Senate has called for a nation summit to significantly resolve the syndrome of out-of-school children. The Senate made the resolution during plenary after the submission of reports of the Committee on Education on the compelling need to tackle the challenge of out-of-school children in Nigeria. The chairman of the committee, Senator Usman Adamu, said over 2 million out-of-school children have been enrolled in the last 1 year through the collective effort of the agencies of the ministry working on out-of-school children education. Now, Benue State Governor Hyacinth Alia has suspended the State Attorney General and Commissioner of Justice and Public Order, Fidelis Nim. The commissioner was suspended for joining states challenging the establishment of the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, and the Independent Corrupt Practices and Other Related Offences Commission, ICPC. On Tuesday, the Supreme Court reserved judgment in a suit filed by 19 states challenging the constitutionality of the law establishing the EFCC. Now to business. The Dangote Petroleum Refinery has started supplying premium motor spirit, popularly called petrol, to some oil marketers directly without recourse to the Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited. In entertainment, British star Idris Elba has announced his plans to move to Africa in the next 10 years as he hopes to support the continent's film industry. In outer sport, the Super Eagles of Nigeria has moved up by 3 spots to place World 36th in the October FIFA ranking.
And now, we'll bring you news from around the world.
Commonwealth heads of government are preparing to defy the United Kingdom and agree plans to examine reparatory justice for the transatlantic slave trade. The British government had maintained that the issue is not on the agenda for the summit of 56 Commonwealth countries, which begins in the Pacific island nation of Samoa on Friday. But diplomatic sources said officials were negotiating an agreement to conduct further research and begin a meaningful conversation about an issue which could potentially leave the UK owing billions of pounds in reparations.
This is the news on 92.3 Nigeria Info.
That's a wrap on the news this afternoon. Before we go, let's have a look at the major stories. The family of one of the victims of last weekend's killings in Ahoda East has recounted the ordeal. Reactions. Condemnation is now trailing renaming of Niger Delta Ministry. Stakeholder has blamed government officials for delay in flood response. And on the foreign scene, Commonwealth nations has defied UK on slavery reparations. The news was edited by Onyeka Chinwosu. To reach the news team, send an SMS